Good morning everybody, and welcome back to the Homestead. This video is another post on the Every Bit Counts challenge that took place in August. I'm late getting this video comprises of clips that I did in the last 2 weeks of August, and I'm just putting it together now. It's been a little busy. If you are new to the Every Bit Counts challenge, I will link my most recent videos in the comments, and if you were to search Every Bit Counts, hashtag Every Bit Counts, you will see thousands of videos of other YouTubers that are doing what they can to put a little bit on the shelf every single day in your pantry. When you're shopping from your pantry rather than the grocery store, you're getting better quality food, you know what's in your food, and you're saving money. So there's a lot of information out there. A lot of people are participated in this challenge, and it's fun. And when you watch other people's videos, you get ideas of what you can do. That's why we're here, to learn what we can from each other. Real quick before we get started, we are less than 2 weeks away from the Farm Where You Live festival, the Harvest Festival. That is in Clemson, South Carolina. If you'd like information on attending that, I have an affiliate link in the description box. You can go ahead and you can purchase tickets. It is a fantastic event and a lot of great speakers, a great time to get to meet other homesteaders, other people that are all different varying levels of where they're at. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and I think you would too. Okay, now on to the Every Bit Counts challenge video. Every week of this challenge, I started off making bone broth. When you're raising chickens for eggs and for meat, you never have a shortage of bones to be able to make bone broth. So I pulled some carcasses out of the freezer and got them into the crock pot. I usually make bone broth over a couple of days, having it simmer in the crock pot, straining it off, putting it in the fridge so that the fat can solidify, and then I can strain it off into a soup pot. It's really not a whole lot that was coming out of the garden, a little bit here and there, as summer garden was drawing to a close. So as I was picking, I was putting into the freeze dryer and saving seeds for next year's harvest. So I went ahead and put things into the freeze dryer. You see I got some chicken bones as well that I will be grinding up into bone meal. A lot of herbs, just trying to take advantage of the herbs while they're still there and get them in the freeze dryer and get them preserved to get them on the shelf. My peppers have been super slow coming in this year, so I was either freeze drying them or put them in the freezer, chopping them up and putting them in the freezer to get ready to make some hot pepper jelly, which I just did a couple of days ago. This was the first time I made hot pepper jelly. I'm not really sure if I am really digging it. I did have to go off recipe as I didn't have enough jalapenos that it called for, so I used chili peppers and I used poblanos, and I use a large variation of peppers, and still had to add a little bit of Reaper powder. I've been using my freeze dryer a lot to freeze dry herbs. I love having the freeze dryer as opposed to when I was dehydrating them, they would lose a lot of color and a lot of the scent to them. Freeze dryer seems to stop them right in their tracks where they are, and then you can just rehydrate them or not, using them for cooking or medicinal. I was able to grow Tulsi Thai, licorice basil, sweet basil. 3 years ago, I didn't even know there were that many different kinds of basils, and now I've learned a lot about what the different qualities of them are, so that's very cool. If I didn't have a freeze dryer, I would be using my dehydrator, which I did the first year, and if I didn't have a dehydrator, I'd be hanging them up and doing them the old-fashioned way. I love using my freeze dryer to freeze dry apple snacks, and I have a new chopper I think I talked about in another video where I can do really tiny pieces, which are perfect for my 1-year-old granddaughter for little finger foods and healthy. My 4-year-old granddaughter also likes freeze-dried foods. My 4-year-old Charlie girl, she was one of the reasons why I really pushed to save money for a freeze dryer, because she was at a point in time when she was a toddler that she wouldn't eat anything unless it was crunchy. And so to be able to give her wholesome foods that she will eat is just a win. Been trying my hand at making salves, healing salves with comfrey and oil and beeswax, putting it on low heat and then straining it, adding the beeswax to make some more medicinal type creams and tinctures and salves. It's been coming out pretty good. The challenge I've been having is the small crock pot that I purchased for these little projects tends to run a little bit hotter than what I want to, and if you let it get too hot, then you're killing the medicinal properties in the herb. So I've been trying to work that out. One way I've been working that out is I've been just putting the herbs in the oil and leaving it where it gets some sunshine. And if you do that for like 3 or 4 weeks, you should be pulling all the medicinal properties out of it. So rather than trying to slow cook and do everything in a faster way, I'm trying to do it in a slower way. Those jars there have different blends. So some have got coconut oil, some's got grapeseed oil, or olive oil. So I'll have different choices. That pretty much sums up the doings of the last couple weeks of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. I did a lot of the same things over and over again, so I didn't put that all into the video. There's no need for you to see that I made bone broth like 3 times during that time. So a lot of bone broth, a lot of herbs, some snacks, some things that I had just put away to preserve to make something else. So like the salves, the healing salves of the comfrey and the other herbs. That's not something I could do right now because it's a long process, but I got it started, and so it'll be a project for October. As I get better at it, I think I will start recording some of it. I'm still trying to learn and make sure that I do things in the correct way, so I can make the best quality things that I can possibly make. I do know that some of the salves that I've made have been awesome. Rick has neck problems. I have neck problems even like this week. Made a combination of comfrey, lemon balm, and cayenne pepper, and it really does make a difference. Like I could be hurting in the evening and put it on, and I'm comfortable enough to go to sleep, and then when I wake up the next morning, I'm much looser and it's better. That's all for today. Be a blessing and be blessed.